Hello, hello. It is hands only tonight, friends. So we're just going to wait for me to see people who are actually here. Could be four of you tonight because this was really a last minute thing. So I am just going to wait till, oh, I'm live. Hello, friends. It's hands only tonight. So I'll make sure. I know this irritates people if you talk with your hands, but we're getting right into it tonight. And you can't see me from the face forward because I am in my pajamas and haven't combed my hair today because I am in full on instruction mode. I rolled out of bed today and went right into computer work. So, needless to say, today is a day where I have not combed my hair. I showered, and whatever I ended up with is what I got. So I'm here. I'm excited for that part. Thank you for your suggestions and recommendations for tonight. I really wanted to do something that was we could make cards from because tomorrow is, what is it called? International Card Making Day or National Card Making Day or Card Making Lollapalooza Day. So guess what? You'll be very, very proud of me. I have prepped a card base for a slimline to A2. Is that the size? 4.25 by 5.5. And then I had the leftover 4x4. So my goal is to World Card Making Day. Thank you, Brenda. I wanted to be prepared so I sounded smart tonight, but this is, I'm telling you, it could be like hijinks and hilarity tonight because Vicki is running on fumes. So I'm sure Natalie's like, do you remember, Vicki? You were gonna let me know what you were doing so I could get the share sale links and all of the things done. And this literally I just put this all together. That's why there was no normally you'll have the link set up early, right? Tonight was I made it. That's what I feel like. I made it. I'm not letting you down. I'm here to spend your Friday night, Saturday morning with you, depending where you are in the world. If you're watching after the fact, this will be fun to do tomorrow if you're looking for something. And what I'm sure are 10 million different things going on tomorrow for World Card Making Day. But I wanted to jump on the toot toot card making train, and we're going to do gel plate print art. And then, so this is what you need tonight. If you don't have fluorescence, you don't have to use fluorescence. Here's my idea with the fluorescence is I can use black foundations paper. So I'm trying to tick as many boxes to make the peoples happy. So I'm going to do white background and a couple on the black foundations paper using my fluorescent paint. We can grab other colors if we want. I have, we're going to do some ghost prints, which mean we're going to layer, let the layers dry and then lift it with another color. Actually, we'll do something fun. So I might actually even lift with a matte acrylic gel because there's no pigment in it. So I could lift that on the black with this. We'll try it. We'll try the things. I have a whack of stencils to use. I'm using my 8x10 plate. Hello, Nicole. Hello, friends. Hi, Natalie, Karen, Kari. Hi, friends. So I have my card bases for after the fact. And then I grabbed some of my new Tim stencils too, because I really love these ones. And then just to make it easy, circle dies. So my cards are going to be circle art based on gel plate prints because I figured everyone could cut a circle, right? So even if you are doing punches, if you want to make wonky hand cut circles, you can do that. So I just grabbed a couple of different circle dies. I thought that would be easy. Like these are probably ancient, this set, but grab the things, gonna do the things, and I'm gonna make cards. The other thing that I grabbed because I think it could be fun is I really like to take my embossing folders and emboss my gel plate prints. Do you remember we did it on this card? And this card, simple but impactful. I love it. And look at that gel plate print went through an embossing folder and it made it magic. So that's the plan for tonight. The whole idea for tonight is this just going to be fun. It's going to be relaxing. I love using my gel plate because I can make my own background art. I think it's very therapeutic. It's good for the mind, body, and soul. And for tonight, for my mental health, because it has been a very busy, long last 10 years, week. This is to me where it's at, right? So we're going to do the things. So you're only watching tonight, Loretta, because you're in the middle of moving your daughter winter stay. So yeah, watch, right? Hang out. You can be knitting or just hanging out with the VBoo crew. Whatever you want to do is totally works. So did I miss any questions, right? Been a long 10 years here too. You know what I'm saying? And I just telling you, exciting stuff is coming down the pipeline, but it is one Vicki, and I am feeling the being a woman in her 50s with a lot of work and a lot of plans coming up, right? So I'm feeling it tonight. So if you're out there feeling it, feeling some kind of way, hopefully this will be therapeutic art, and you don't have to make anything out of it. Just enjoy the process. This is why, to me, gel plate printing, if you're like, Vicki, is it worthwhile to invest in it? I'd be like, yeah, 100%. I freaking love this. I love that use stencils, found objects. You can make beautiful art, and you could throw it all in the fire pit if you wanted to. To me, the golden nugget and my takeaway from this is the process of making the art. But on a plus note, you can do many beautiful things with your prints. You can make cards. You can die cut out of it. Anything. You have to look at it because you're like, I have all this mixed media. What do I do with it? Well, what do you do with your pattern paper? You cut it up, right? You cover a mini book with it. That's how you really, I want you to get in. That's Vicki's little words of advice tonight. Is you're making your own pattern paper. So you'll use it the same way you would. Put it through your Cricut or your Silhouette. Holy crap. Did you see the beautiful leaves Natalie cut out of my ready-made background? My ready-made backgrounds are generally gel plate prints. So putting them through a cut file is absolutely phenomenal. And Natalie used on VickiBooten.com, there's one called Fall Frenzy, which I believe my lovely friend Nicole, I think you helped me design that one, right? It's a free cut file. So you could use that tonight if you don't want to make cards, or you want to make cards with fall leaves on it, right? You do whatever makes you happy. There's no rules in this. Had a hard time finding you, but I'm here. I'm telling you, it's because I literally did this at 5 to 8 tonight because that's all I had in me. I ate a little bit of supper. We're not doing face forward tonight because I literally am in a tank top and I haven't combed my hair, and you would be scared if you saw my face. Oh, a mini book. Yeah, right? There's so many things. And so this is my commitment to you. Let's just keep making the gel plate prints, and then one day we'll come on and it'll be, I still want to turn this into another class, but I love this. This is something I've been using for years. It's my favorite. If you don't have one tonight, just work on something else and see what we're making. And then you can make kind of that educated decision or kind of informed decision if it's something you want to invest in, right? So here we go. Let's do it. So there, Natalie just put the Fall Frenzy cut file link. That is why I couldn't find you. 100%, Irene, it's out there. But I couldn't share it to the Vicki Booten creative page, like our community page. There was no share button. And I literally just posted it. So I'm sure you guys will find me when you find me, right? All I can say is I'm here. I'm here. That's what I say. I'm winning because I'm here. So with that being said, welcome. Happy Friday night. Are we celebrating any birthdays or anything fun? This Monday or Tuesday, the 10th of October. I will be it's Thanksgiving here in Canada, so it's Thanksgiving weekend. All the kids are home. They come home for Thanksgiving weekend, get a week off. It's reading week here for a lot of our university college students, and it is my 25th wedding anniversary, and Rich's too, because that's who I'm married to on Tuesday. So we have lots going on this weekend. And I will be back to instruction writing tomorrow as soon as I roll out of bed, because I have instructions to write for like 6 classes and I hate it. I won't lie. I hate it with everything in me, but I do them because I love you guys. So tonight, grab whatever acrylic paint that you have. These are my texture paints, so that's going to be fun. Maybe we'll throw a little metallic on here as well if that tickles your fancy. And if you want to do ghost prints, you need something to lift your print with. So I'm going to test it with black paint on the black paper. And then I also have a matte acrylic gel, because it will do the same thing, lift the print without any paint in the background. And then I have white paint to do some lifting on the white backgrounds. So you'll need some paper. That's the biggest thing, some paper. You need some stencils. You can use bubble wrap. I see some right across from me. So if we want to use that, you need a brayer. You need a gel plate. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. It's coming. Excuse me. Sorry. I have a cat. That's all I have to say about that. I have a cat now. Vicki didn't ever realize the allergies that I have until I got a cat. Let me just grab a drink too, friends. Ooh, Rich did something weird with this can. Kills the pot. Dude, they're all gonna fall out. Sorry, just a second. There we go. So sorry, it's Hot Mess Express tonight, you know. That's why your instructions could be like IKEA and just do some pictures, right? I just feel like the cutting diagram should be enough, because you have me live in a video, right? I explain everything, but I know you guys love them. I feel like you don't really need it, but whatever, we'll do the things. So I have a stack of 8.5 by 11. I have a pad underneath my computer, which I'll move, of black foundations paper, because there was a request. I'd like to see more with that. Any questions or anything before we get started? Did I miss anything? Yeah, so I apologize, like always. If you're new here, I'm not always this crazy. Well, probably that's a lie. Probably lying right to your face. But hello, Deborah. How are you? Simon is gorgeous. He really is a beautiful cat. And I will keep him even if he makes me have terrible allergies. He's not going anywhere. Like Natalie said, instruction writing takes all the joy of creating for scrapbook instructor. It does. It does. And I will find every excuse to stop and go on social media and whatever. I'm not good at that part, but I get them done. I'm one of the written instruction people. It makes sense to me. I know you are, Loretta. It's why I do it. Just understand that this right brain person, it is fun. It's fun, right? Okay. So tonight I'm going to do a couple backgrounds first, because think, if I'm going to do a card, I might want some bases. You could do some where you're just adding some different colors just to have something you could die cut a title with. So let's get warmed up and let's just put some pigment down and do some really simple prints. And then we can layer on the prints. But I want it to be kind of rapid fire printmaking tonight. Let me get my palette knife. I've got 20 million of them. I just need to actually find one because I was cleaning all my tools. Okay, where are you, palette knife? If you were a palette knife, where would you be? So I don't have a Vicki Boutin one tonight. I just have this plastic one, but it will work. Here we go. It's chilly there. Yeah, it's still hot here. It was supposed to be cold and rainy, but it's not yet. Okay, so let's start with, these are the Vicki Boutin texture paste, the fluorescent set, which I don't know if the purple was, yeah, I think the purple was in here. So it's a very basic palette of brightness. And I think it'll be fun. Could you use fall colors? Could you use other colors? You can do whatever you want, right? So that's what I'm going to use. So these are a thicker paint, right? They are like a texture paste, right? So you don't need much of it. I'm going to put a little bit on here and let's roll it out. I'm hoping that it's not too thick, that we'll be able to use it, but we've used them before, right? So let's just get a thin layer. So your biggest thing with your gel plate is you want a very thin layer of paint. Most people put too much paint on their plate. And then you aren't actually lifting anything off of a plate. You're actually just picking up paint, right? So there'll be some jiggling of the camera while I do this. So let's see what we're gonna lift. So it should feel like it's stuck on your plate when you pull it off. Like, look at, super easy application of color. So that was one. I'm gonna put whatever's left on here. So instead of wiping it on paper towel, I'm gonna put that back on here. Let's do a little bit of a yellow one. Brayer recommendations. Yes, Nicole, you need the rubber brayer. Don't get the metal ones that are springy because they're crap. They really are. I feel like you don't have much control over them. So you want this that has like, it's a rubber brayer. This one is from Speedball, but the American Crafts ones I sell on VickiBooten.com, like that kind of idea. You want a rubber brayer. Okay, you want it to be in this plastic. These come out. You can clean it, but I'm going to just rub that in a little bit. But that is key, right? Hello, Robin. I was just saying to my mother that I haven't seen my robins in a while. How are you doing, my friend? I thought you had forsaken me. I was sad. I'm like, where are my robins? I haven't seen my robins in such a long time. So hello, friend. Very happy that you popped on to say hello. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of these single color ones, okay? Single color, clean your brayer off. There's a sheet beside me. I'm just rubbing my brayer off. I don't need to wet it, nothing, okay? Let's do a print of this lovely, oh my goodness, vibrating yellow. I love it, love it, love it, okay? So we're just gonna throw our paper on. We're gonna rub. Back to work after back surgery. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Terrible friend. I should have been checking up on you. Vicki doesn't know if she's coming or going half the time. It's a problem, right? Here we go. Ready? Oh, like seriously. And there's that just kind of bubble of orange that was just left on the plate. Here's another question I bet that's out there. What kind of paper are you using, Vicki? I go to the print store, like where you get photocopies done, and I will be like just buy cover stock. So it's a little heavier than printer paper, but it's pretty thin because you don't need expensive paper for gel plate printing, right? So I'm going to do each color out of this set. So we did the lovely peach sour. We have done lemon sour. Let's go into kiwi sour. We'll do the green. Question: can you pick up with 65-pound weight? Yes, I use printer paper, like literally the stuff, the cheap stuff you just put in your printer. You can pick up with tissue paper. You just got to watch, test it. So the biggest thing is you don't want it to stick to your gel plate, right? Getting stronger, physical therapy 3 times per week. Well, I'm thinking about you, sweet friend. Thinking about you. I keep all my roll-off sheets. They make great backgrounds too. Yes, I'll show you mine when we're done, Karen. I agree. I don't throw anything away. All of it can be art, right? So you see, I'm putting very little paint down. You don't need a lot. The lighter the color, you might need a little bit more, but as long as it brayers out, I'm not covering the whole background because that's kind of my first layer of art. Move your brayer around so you're spreading that paint around, and then just get a nice evenish application, okay? Nice evenish application. This paint's a little thicker, and don't over roll it because I just pretty much lifted it all off. So we could print this twice if we want, but I did just lift all that green off. I love neon, fluorescent, love that, right? Hello from Southern Indiana. I love the gel plate class of Vicki, bought all the things. I love it. And this is something, like I say, when you feel like, I feel like making, but I don't feel like making, or I don't really know what I want to make, sit down and do gel plates. So see, that dried on me. I overworked it and it dried on me. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We can just lift this now with another color. So the paint's dry. This dried out. I put too little on here. So see how it's still on the edges? That's going to be beautiful. So you know what I'm going to put down is a layer of the yellow. and I'm going to lift this, and that will reanimate the paint with a wet layer, and we can lift that. So let's put that down. And got to work faster with these. So this is not like, if you're using regular acrylic, you're not going to have this issue. I had that issue because I overrolled it. The paint started to dry. So let's get this down, and we got to move a little faster. We're seeing with this paint because it sets up on me a little fast. So let's see. You could have just put white acrylic on it and lifted that one, right? So I'm going to rub the edges. Let's see. Am I going to lift this? If not, I'm going to put white on and see what we pick up. Question: can you spray with water when it dries? I wouldn't. You can, but water is not the same consistency of, say, acrylic paint. So I'm lifting some of it, but not all of it. So let me show you. So see, we got some really cool kind of distressing. See that? But see, there's still lots on here. So let's make that a thing. We're going to make this a thing now. We're going to let all the paint dry. Okay. So let's put a layer down and then lift the layer. Question: have you ever used your metallic texture base? Yes, Jill. Weren't you in my gel plate class? 100% you can use it. We'll use it tonight. We'll do that last though. I use the gold last. Okay, we'll do it. So just add water. Just add another color of paint to give moisture. Yes, I'm going to show you. Okay, we're going to make this dry on purpose. So I'm going to put some of this bluish color down, not everywhere. Eek. And the first thing I'm going to do is brayer this out. See, it's thick. This is thick, thick, thick paint. Okay, going to do this. Now watch what's going to happen here. Got to move fast, Vicki. And then I'll grab some regular paint so you can see. Not all paint. This is special. That's why it's doing this craziness. So watch what we can do. Let's do this. Let's take that one that didn't really, well, we'll take this. I'm going to lift some of that art through the stencil. Okay. Oh, look it. There we go. That's a print. And now I'm going to put color through and lift this off. What do we want in there? So this is where maybe your bubble wrap could come in handy. Watch. Look at, I have some stuff. Just going to use it. And I'm going to lift some of the pattern off on here. So we are removing this background, right? I want to put some color through this pattern now. Okay, I'm going to put some color through that. Let's go. Let's do the purple. We're going to brayer that in there. I'll lift this. Okay, I'm going to go rinse this quickly because see, it's messy. I know a lot of you guys are not like that. I can't help it. I can't help who I am. I have to wash that off. Just give me a second because that all needs to dry anyway. Because it's acrylic paint, I just find it's easier to throw it in the sink with a scrub brush and clean it. If it was ink, you can throw it in the lasagna tray like Tim does, or in a tray of water, which you could do that as well if you weren't going to use it again. There are lots of mixed media artists that never clean anything. I like to have a crisp outline on my stencils. That's why I clean them, right? If you don't clean them, you lose the integrity of the pattern because the paint starts to gum up. So I am who I am. I clean my stuff. Not everybody does, but that makes me happy. So I do what I do. There's no right or wrong way, right? Now I can tell some of the purple, right, is a little bit wet. I'm just going to lift. I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Oh, love it. Okay. So now we're just waiting for this to dry and we're going to lift it. We're going to lift this pattern. You could add more. Here, let's do this for Jill. I'm going to take a cup, and there's some gold. Do this for Jill. So look, Jill, I'm going to take a cup, and I'm going to add some rings on here in gold. Okay. So how do we need to do this? Well, you could have a second gel plate beside you. You could, put the gold on brayer and lift it off that and do 2 prints. I don't have one out here, so we're not going to do that. Remember, rapid fire gel plate printing. Cleaning my stuff. Ooh, these are cucumber scented. Cucumber wipes. They are pretty strong, man. So what I'm going to do, right, I need an application of this. So we could put it right on our craft mat. I'm going to do that right on my craft mat because all I'm going to do is add some rings, right? But I don't want thick rings. So let's just put a little layer like that. And we'll put our cup in it like this. And then let's do this. Now these are going to be pretty wet, okay, because I just put a lot of medium on here. So I'm going to lift some of it off. See it? Maybe do a second row. I just don't want it too thick because we want this to dry. So what we're doing, oh, look at, very pretty, is a ghost print. This is a ghost print, meaning it's all going to dry. We're going to put, you could put wet or white paint on and lift it because white on white, or you could lift it with the matte acrylic gel, but really white paint is easy. Okay. So we're waiting for that to dry because if it's wet, it's still wet. If it's wet, it's not really going to be a ghost print. You're going to just move that paint around, right? So the idea, why would you put white paint on this? If you put, you want that to be the color of what you're printing because everything you're going to print, first thing you put down is the top layer. Does that make sense? See, so it's, I'm going to go for it now. We're just going to try it. Let's see what happens. So let's go with white acrylic. This is when don't go cheap on your paints. These are artists. The Liquitex acrylic color basics is like art student quality. So they're not super expensive, but the consistency of the paint will be your friend. It's thick enough that you'll be able to do this. This needs to be like an onion skin layer. Okay, when you lift this, you want very little white paint on your background because it's really just acting like a lifter. It's going to lift this medium. So if your paint is too thick, that's why this doesn't work for you. Okay, so I can already see I need a little bit more because that green is really tenacious for some reason. Who knows, right? It's the chemistry of the paint. So it's drying very quickly on me. Now that's way too much. I'm going to tell you right now. So I'm going to take some of that off because that's just crazy. And I'm going to brayer a little bit more on here. But I'm starting to lift my white paint. So let's see what happens, right? But we need it. It needs to be on here, but very thin. Okay, onion skin layer that just kind of reactivates the paint. And then we'll be able to lift this layer. If it's too wet, it doesn't, like it almost has to instantly dry on your background, if that makes sense. So let's see what we get. We're going to go for it. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling lucky. Let's see what we get. Okay. So this is a ghost print, meaning everything is dried. We put this white paint that now is sticking. It's acting like a glue and lifting all that acrylic off onto my cardstock. So you can use your brayer that picked up some of that purple that wasn't really dry. That's what you're seeing on there. Also, my brayer's not clean. It just kind of reactivated it. You're rubbing it because you want it to stick to your paint, to your plate and pick up the magic. Well, let's see. What are we getting? This is what I'm talking about. Do you see it? See how it's stuck to there? That's how you do a ghost print. Right? This is when I want the ooh, ah, right? Is that the same as a mono print? Well, mono, one print. So it is the same as a mono print, but you can accomplish a mono print with lots of different tools, right? So look, that was quick. We didn't even, like, not a lot of art planning went into this, right? It was just because I saw like this, there's still like some little like boogers on here that we're going to pick up. And it's instantly dry and ready to go. I love it. I love it. I love gel plate printing, seriously. Okay, so I still wanted to do kind of just a pink one, but we're still going to have like some awesomeness on here, right? What else can we do? Because I have this. I don't want to waste it. Let's just do something. Let's pick this up too. Let's do something and clean up our plate first, okay? So I'm going to brayer that gold right on there because I'm not a waster. I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to brayer into this white. Let's see what we get. Just do something, right, with it. Okay. So we can do two things right now. Let's find a stencil. That's a bigger one. Let's put that down. Let's lift some of that pattern through on that just partially greeny one. If you had like a navy or something, this would be kind of awesome, right? But look at, there's little metallic hearts on there now. Now let's put another color. Now we'll put a little pink in here. How about some pink and a little bit of the orange? So I put a little bit of watermelon sour. And let's put a little bit of the orange, which is going to be peach sour. See, now it makes me want candy. Let's brayer that through. Oh, that color's freaking awesome, man. I put a lot of paint on there, so I'm just kind of lifting some of it too. Oh my goodness, I love fluorescent. Pull this in here. Let's pull it into the pink. Okay, so two things I'm going to do here. Let's see here. Do I have, I hope I have some. Yeah. I'm going to lift to clean some of this paint with some foundations paper. I'm not pressing very hard. I'm just lifting some of that paint. Okay. Look at that. Oh. Now let's lift our stencil. See some of the paint. There was a lot of paint on there, Vicki. What were you thinking? Okay. Stencil in the sink. I'll clean it in a minute. We're going to let that dry. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? Ooh, what did I do? Something, I must have touched something on my screen. All of your comments went away. Give me a minute, friends. I don't know what happened here. Am I still live? I hope I am. I don't know what that is. Comments, here it is. Whew. Oh my goodness. That was just crazy. Everything went away. Something popped up. Okay. So, ooh, sorry friends. Crazy stuff's going on in here. I'm going to lift that wet part in the middle. Ooh. Look what you just did, Vicki. Now, we got to let this dry for a second, right? Because we are going to do a ghost print of this. But part of me maybe even wants a little bit more gold on here. Let's put it on with a different pattern. Let's use something, and I'm going to add a little gold. Look at that, could be cool, right? Just in the corner. Ooh, it's very wet still. Don't do it, Vicki, because it's very wet. But we want this because it's going to be so pretty. So sometimes you have to have patience, right? So what do we want to talk about while my paint dries? Will mica powders damage a gel plate? I don't think so. I think they're thin enough. I just don't know how you're going to lift it, right? A mica is dry. So you could put it on there, but you're going to have to reconstitute it with something. So I can't tell you 100%. If no, the biggest thing you want to remember, like if you get your cat lays on your gel plate, it will get damaged because their hair will cut right in. You don't want hair on your plate. I don't put anything that's sharp on my plate. This one I absolutely love, though. I'm very excited for how this is going to look. But the white isn't going to, I put that white on there just because it was there. It's not going to show up unless we put it on a darker background. So maybe we'll lift this on black. Maybe we'll lift this whole thing on black, okay? Patience during gel plate is, are you doing anything special for your anniversary? There is a restaurant here. Thank you for asking, Karen. There is a restaurant here called, a winery called Ravine. And we are going there for dinner. Rich made a reservation. I'm very excited about that. Yes, this on the left is the paper that we're cleaning off on. It's going to be very pretty, right? That's what we were talking about, right? Are you using black foundations to lift? I am. Do you have to use foundations? You don't, right? It could just be black. How's your studio setup going? I haven't been there at all this week, Kara, because I am writing instructions. And then working on a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And then one of the other things I saw up here, card winners, Julie. The card winner for this card was posted in the comment section. So that person needs to reach out to me. And I haven't done anything with last week's cards yet because instruction writing. So it's going to take me a minute, right? A minute. I just want this to dry. It's almost there. It's almost ready. I'm going to lift it again, though, a little bit. We're going to lift some of it off with white because I have zero amounts of patience, especially when we're live, right? It kind of makes it hard. So let's just lift whatever little hints are on here. And then, oh, look, it's pretty dry, right? Nothing's lifting. So let's rub a little harder. See? Nope. So I'd say it's good to go. So we're going to do this on black, and I'm going to just do it on the other side of this. Maybe on a new one. We'll do it on a new sheet. I love the neon colors too. I wouldn't heat set on a gel plate. I wouldn't add heat on here. This is one of those, just have to have patience. Other people might. I wouldn't do it. So I have sheet of foundations here. I'm going to lift this one with the matte gel acrylic because it's clear. If I put white on here, it's not going to show up on the black, right? So I want some of that metallic and stuff to show up on my black. So I'm going to lift it with this. That's probably too much paint. We'll see. I'm going to use a clean brayer too in case I don't want it to add that paint on there, if that makes sense. So I am using my, getting that everywhere. I think this is going to work really nicely to lift. Let's see what happens. It's always good. Vicki will test it. She'll tell you if it worked or not. Oh, so fingers crossed. Hello, Angie Blum. How are you, my friend? Sydney over there cooking you up some good stuff. Oh, wait for this, friends. So part of it is lifting and part isn't. So this is nice because we can make 2 prints out of this. So I'm going to rub. I'm rubbing. Got to make it kind of glue to the page, right? This paper's heavy too, so I don't know how directly in contact I am when I rub. Use the heel of your hand. You want it to dry onto there and lift that acrylic, right? Oh my goodness, I'm such a dummy. So get ready for this. I didn't look at the front of the paper. See these? This is where I had tested the Cosmic watercolor. So it's on there too. And it transferred onto the sheet as well. So let's do another lift. Do you see this? I didn't look at the front page and it had Cosmic watercolor on it, but oh my goodness, this is beautiful. With a surprise. Question. Can you use spray inks like Distress or Lindy's? You can, but remember if it's too wet, when you touch it, you're not, well, I'll show you. We'll put something on here. They need to kind of be a little dry. Because if you don't have that suction attachment, it's like spraying it just on your craft mat and lifting it, right? So I would use them, but I might let them dry on there. Because if you're pressing it down, you're going to have like the physics of it, the science of it. You're going to just push out that water. So you can try it, but it's not having that suction attachment kind of thing, right? So let's lift this and see what we get now on just white paper. Because that's funny. That's funny right there what happened. I did not look at the other side of my paper, and my paper had something on it already. It's so funny. I bet every time you post, Angie, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not coming to visit because I'd be in trouble, man. Angie's daughter, see, that's what happens when your brayer is wet and it glues to the paper. Angie's daughter this week made, what'd she make? What were those donuts? I'm like, oh my good Lord. I'm not allowed to go to visit Angie because I'd never leave. Nobody cooks me or makes me anything around here, man. And Angie's daughter's making her Boston cream donuts or some kind of craziness. So we're going to just clear this plate off. We're going to do another ghost print, but with whatever we pulled off my page, because that's interesting surprise, wasn't it? Thin layer. Clean off my brayer. And let's lift it. Let's see what we get. Yeah, happy accident. There was some craziness went on there, right? So yeah, you can try the spray inks. People use them. People will use alcohol inks and stuff. I do believe if you're a beginner with this and that's the first thing you use, you might get a little frustrated with it. So I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it probably takes a little bit of practice. Okay, takes a little bit of practice. So let's see what was left on that plate. We're not lifting all of it though. Sometimes the paint gets too thick and it's kind of hard to get off of it. It's very pretty though. Ready? Oh my goodness, look how pretty this is. Look at that. just literally from cleaning your dirty plate off. Now these are a little weird because of how the paint landed on there, but I love that. Look at that. I love it. I love the pink. There's something magic with that pink and orange together. Okay, so, and all my prints, so you know, are on the floor. All my prints are currently on the floor. So do you want to make a pattern with intention? Let's do a pink one first, because I haven't done a pink or an orange. I haven't done a pink or an orange, just because we can do background. Let's do pink and orange on this one. How about that? Just so we have something to print the next layer on, right? Because we want to make some cards. So what's been happening in your world, my friend Angie Blom? I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. What is it, like 385 years? Hi, Jody. How are you? When is your next Epic World Tour? Must be coming soon, right? So I'm going to put a little bit of this pink down. I'm going to take some of it off my brayer. Look at that. That's yummy. It almost looks like, what was that fuzzy stuff we used to put on everything back in their scrapbooking days? That fuzzy stuff. Let's print that. Let's print it just for a background. Yeah, could totally make it like a sunset, right? Flock. Yes, it almost looks like flocking because it's matte, right? So see, like, look at it just on the brayer. Looks like it's flocked. Oh, I love it. So now we'll have like a base when we want to do another print. Okay. So now I feel like purple. We didn't do purple. Let's do a purple one. Eek. This is grape sour, I believe. And what I love, if you guys are collectors of Vicki Boutin product, you might have this and might not have ever taken it out of the package. And you're like, I bought a gel plate too because Vicki told me I needed one and I've never taken that out of the package. Well, hopefully today you're inspired to pull the stuff out and do something with it, right? Because thank you for collecting all of the things, but I'd really love it even better if you use the things. Imagine that. Okay, clean my brayer quick, turn it over so it doesn't glue onto the page. And let's pull this one just as a big purple grape background. Yes, it is pretty, right? Kind of deliciousness going on here. Now the purple is pretty dark. So we'll have to see if anything else will print on top of it. But wouldn't gold be nice on this one? So now, you know what? I wish I had brought a flower over here, but I did not. So a flower stencil. Very pretty. So we can brayer some other stuff on top. Now we have a whole bunch of backgrounds. Let's do something to clean this up because this is beautiful. I would like that to be on something. So let's add some pattern through our stencils. Okay. So remember, we're just doing circles. Let's throw this guy on here and let's throw a little bit of yellow maybe. But I'm not going to do a whole rectangle. Okay. I'm just going to put some pattern on here. That was a lot of paint. Might have bled underneath my stencil. We'll see. It did. It bled under the stencil. Oh, let's see if we can get any of that paint to come off in the positive and negative. Now, because that bled off through the stencil, I'm going to lift some of that off. some of this is going to get lifted out of the middle of that, and I'll reapply. Okay. See? Ooh, fun. Now let's go and apply another bit of pattern on here. What else? Let's put some dots maybe. Love it. So we did the yellow. Let's go in with a little bit of the purple. Again, very little. I'm going to put very little paint on there because you don't need a lot, right? My brayer is very dirty. I just want a couple little purple dots. Maybe a couple up here. Oop, that moved on me. Let's see what happens. Okay. Is it wet enough to lift it? I don't know. I'll give my brayer a little wipe. And I'm going to try to lift this immediately now on one of the lighter backgrounds. Let's put it. That's probably not going to work on there. Let's just put it on white. We're just going to lift it on white. So a lot of it's dry, so we can do a ghost print. Now, like I said, it's the type of paint I'm using. You don't have a lot of open time. It doesn't mean this is going to be the case with regular acrylic paint. It's using these. You do not have a lot of open time. You got to hustle. I'm going to throw these in the sink really quick, okay? So that's dry. We're going to lift it with another color. Gonna lift it with another color. Let's do it. So those are dry on here. So here's one of those things, like when that happens, you're like, well, how would I fix that, Vicki? Then you do it as ghost prints. You'd put your colors down and then you would lift it with a white or the gel medium, right? Let's put another layer on here, okay? Let's put another layer on here. So I'm going to put some of the pink on here and I'm going to lift this. I'll lift it with a white in the end, okay? But let's put some words in here. I think that'll be fun. Now let's see, did I get enough on here that it'll actually fill in those spaces? I don't know, but we shall see. So there's some stuff going on. Let's put some gold on here for Jill, and we'll lift it all on white. What would I like for the gold? Ooh. Tim's stencil here. I want this one that looks like little paintbrush marks. Question, can you use alcohol ink on acrylic gel plate? You can. It's a little tricky, but you can. It is something that is done. Like I said, I'm a pretty what would you call that? Traditional. I'll put some mediums on, but I like the look more of the opacity of acrylics. But like I said, we don't have a yes or no. We'll try everything, right? But you can. It's out there. Okay, here you go, Jill. Let's put some gold on here. Oh, going to be so pretty. Now, remember, very thick. This is a very thick application of gold. So I put too much on there, Jill. So we'll lift some of that with another piece of art. And then I have a second chance, Jill. Look at it. Oh, my goodness. I love it. So I'm just brayering what was already on that brayer. I just wanted it to be less. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. I'm going to put it on twice. Love it. It's very wet. Purple and gold. There you go. Look at me. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is see this dirty stencil? We don't waste, right? So what happens if I missed? That was some water. And what if we press it onto this sheet that we're cleaning crap off on? Or here, let's just do it on a new sheet that I actually glued to this other sheet. We can just use pieces of it, right? That was wet, so I just ripped it all. So sorry for my friends who love that. I just ruined everything. But look at. So I wet this. And now let's see if we can transfer any of that paint. Let's get the gold off. Here, I'll use the other brayer for right now. Can we transfer the dirty stencil on to another sheet? Because I don't like to waste anything. Oh my goodness, yes you can. All I did was missed it. Look at that pattern. Let me show you something else that'll blow your mind because we don't waste anything. There's still some gold on here. Let's mist it. Let's put it on here. Let's brayer it down there. So we're doing stencil stamping and watch this magic. Let's get an ink blending tool. This looks good. What ink do I have here? Here, let's do this. I'm going to take this. Let's clean this up too, Vicki. Don't get too crazy. If I don't clean this stuff, it never will come off. So it can sit, oh, can't sit there too long because it'll glue to my paper because this is cheap cardstock, right? So there's some gold on here. And now I'm going in with a little evergreen bough. What are we going to get? Let's see. Look at that. So that was just from a dirty stencil. Now, because it is oxide and I'm not a big oxide user usually, I got to break that up. That's just too perfect for me. So let's just add a little water. Let's lift it. Let's lift said water. Now you won't get the wicking like you do because cheap cardstock. So we'll see when it dries, but it should give it, right? So that dirty stencil, look at that. Oh, and I can still print on this. We'll still use this to print. Let's do all the things, man. Let's do it all. Let's clean this brayer, you crazy lady, while this is drying because we're still going to pick this up, right? I love, so if you ask me, if you're only going to buy 2 gel plate prints, sizes, 8.5 by 8 by 10 and the 12 by 12. That's what I would say. Those are my go-to sizes. If I want to do bigger art or a little bit smaller art, you need a craft mat. You need to keep your work surface clean. I know, like I say that you don't have to because there's lots of people who really don't. They like it. They like to get down and dirty, right? I am not of that school. I'm a cleaner crafter. But look what we've done so far. That was off the dirty stencil, but look how pretty. Look at that, right? And we're going to die cut out of this so we can use all of these things. This was a boo-boo, just cleaning my plate off. This was just through the stencil. Look at that freaking awesomeness, right? This was cleaning off the dirty stencil with some wet water that I just sprayed it. Oh my goodness. And the pink is in there. So it's got a rose gold vibe going on in there. This was a second layer with some distress oxide through there. Yes, it is. This is a sheet we were just cleaning the brayer off on. And then there's a whole bunch on the floor I can't reach, so I can't show you. And this was just prints. So now let's see what this magic's going to look like. Oh, look at this one. We loved this one. That was just that dirty plate, right? Okay, let's go. Let's print this. We're going to use white. I'm going to pick it up with my white acrylic paint on white. It's going to be so pretty. Do you want me to add any more? One more layer of anything? Or are we good? Let's just do it. Okay, let's just do it. Now, you will notice too that the gold goes a little bit milkier. So if you really wanted it to be brighter gold, Jill, you would do this on like you would stenciling, right? You would just stencil it onto your gel plate background, and then you would have more vibrant gold, right? So if you wanted it to be more vibrant, you could always, right? This could be your first layer is your gel plate layer. And then there's no reason that you couldn't pick it up or put it, apply it with another coat of paint. I don't have a cleaning sheet now. We'll use the back of that for a second. There we go. Let's lift it and see what we get. I have all of the things, Nicole. So when your Discover and Create box is shipped, just remind me, right? I got you, right? There's some exciting stuff happening. I can't wait to do the walkthrough of Discover and Create. I'm just telling you guys now. That's very sad that all the craft stores, independents that are closing. Just got to support all of the little guys as well as the big box. Like I said, we need all parts of it because we need the big box because they just fill the minimum order quantities. So it's how we can get the stuff. But then we need the independence for the education, the community. Like it's all part of the big picture. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Look at that. So you see what I'm saying? The gold is a little muted, but I can totally tell it's gold. But look how pretty that is, right? Just had that dirty purple in the background, printed that. COVID shutdowns and people buying online. It's true. The world kind of changed, right? The world kind of changed. So let's do some more. Just half and halves because we're going to be cutting these out, right? So let's do, what do I want to do? Let's do something that's just a really simple. Okay, I'm going to add pigment through this and we're going to lift it onto our colored backgrounds. So we have, let's do purple. Let's do the purple. So one of the questions, let's see what happens when I put just a squirt of water, if that paint will flow a little easier. But like I said, I'm only using these because they're metallic, right? But you could totally just be using your acrylic paint. And I also have, I just couldn't find it tonight, metallics that are just regular acrylic paint that aren't like a texture paste, because these really are meant to be textural, right? So we're going to lift this pattern now on one of our backgrounds. Let's grab one and do a half and half. Or question, will you please use some die cuts on your gel plate tonight? I don't have any cut, Jill. We'll do that another night though, I promise. There's going to be a lot of gel plate coming down the line. So we can do it on another night, okay? So see, that was on our background. We just layered to create a fun pattern. Hello, Sherry. How are you? And then, right, whatever's left, we can pick that up as a ghost print. Let's go throw these in the water quick. We'll use a different stencil. Sorry, friends. You have to deal with this because, like I told you, I have to clean. I can't help it. It really drives me crazy. And if you do it while they're wet, it's so much easier. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What other patterns do we have? Let's add some of these. Yeah, yes. So I'm going to do the bottom of the plate. We're going to pick that up. See you later, Nick. Nicole. So I'm going to add a little bit with this. So these are the exclusive stencils on VickiBooten.com. We're going to do one down here with a little color. We'll do another pattern over here. Ooh, I'm going to do all of it. Let's see what we can pick up. Okay, this whole kind of section. What color do we want to do? What do we have left? Oh, let's do pink. I did a lot of pink though, haven't I? So I'm going to print on this background with gold. I'm going to print on this background because I want to make the cards, right? So let's be focused, Vicki. Got to have some focus. And we have this one we can print. And this one I'm going to say is finished. That one I'm going to say is finished. But we need something a little different, okay? So this will be fun. Let's put some green. Thank you, Kari. I agree with you, and I didn't even read your comment yet. Let's do some green. I agree, my friend. Now purple might come off on here because the brayer wasn't clean. But oh my goodness, I love that already. Put a little green on there. Let's use another stencil. And let's wipe some of that green off. And we'll put another color on. I got to work quick, right? I want to lift this. And then whatever's left. Oh, look at that. We'll do it like this, though. No, we'll do it like this. Some green. And some orange. Okay, let's do it. So we still have cards to make. I'm going to print this on white to start. I don't want it all to come off. I want to leave a little bit. Oh, I love that. Look at that. But now look, see what's left on here? We're going to lift this with, what color could we lift this with? We're going to lift it all with the yellow, but we have to wait for it to dry for a second. Okay. So now let's make a ghost print. Let's put a little bit more. We're going to leave like just that little skins of pattern that's left. But we need to put a little bit more color on it so we could lift it with white. So let's go on here and now put a whole layer of pink on the background. But I want something that is a very simple repeated pattern. Let's see what we have. What do we got? Look at that. So I'm going to brayer a little bit of pink on here. That pink vibrates, so it almost hurts your eyes. I love it. So I don't want that to be just solid. So I'm going to lift some of it with this one of these backgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to take some of that off. Okay, now what will happen is we'll just have that little bit left. Okay, I'm going to lift a little bit more. Looks very wet in the middle. Love it. Now let's add, oh, and I also want to soften that line up a little bit. It's got a kind of a harsh line right through the middle. It's dry already. Okay, so let's go in with a little bit more, fill in with a little bit more color, and then we'll lift this. These are going to have to be washed. Let's set them aside. Hoping I didn't ruin my card bases because I layered them on. See this? I'm going to try to lift all of this with the matte acrylic gel when we're done. So let's fill in stars. Oh, I love it. So let's put some stars in this end. Okay. We are going to go in with, is there purple on here already? I'm going to put some more purple down. That is why I'm working on, I really want to start doing exclusive stamps, dies, and stencils. When Vicki can get help, like a solid assistant going, so that I can get rid of some things that I shouldn't be touching and get somebody else to do it. I really want to start doing art for this kind of thing. So stamps, stencils, dies, so that all the mixed media that we do, you have art that makes you feel very confident to do the mixed media. And specific types of art. Like I have ideas that I want to share. So hopefully one day that will happen. It's happened a little bit, right? I've done some, but then time just gets away from me. Are all the stencils yours? Some are. I've mixed them with a lot of different ones, right? Some are mine, Angie, not all of them. Okay, I want to lift some of this, right? Because I don't want all that. Go right in the middle. Let's see. What are we going to get? Look at that. Okay. Ooh, I love it. But I'm going to lift some of that off so it's not too dark purple. Look at that. Let's do a little bit more. Love that. It's like graffiti art, right? So now I'm going to soften some of this because we can take some of that off, right? So watch. I want to take a little bit of that line away. So we're going to soften that line in the middle. Just take some of it away so it is not too perfect. This is just a baby wipe, right? So we can just take some of that away. Maybe some of the stars away too, or fade some of them out just by wiping a little bit of that paint off. Just fade them out a little bit. And then make sure I don't have water on my, for the draggy marks from the wet. And we are going to lift this now with, I'm going to go in with white. I'm going to go in with the white. Throw these in the sink. And we're going to lift this. We're going to do one more print and we're going to start making some cards. Okay. I hope some of you are printing along with me. No paper towels down here. I'm just using dirty old ones. Okay, here we go. Just keeps getting better. Well, you know what? We need a warm up, right, Jill? And we have to start somewhere when we're doing printmaking. And that's why one day could just literally be doing some backgrounds and then you kind of layer on there, right? But yes, the exclusive stencils, like this is a Vicki Boutin exclusive. It's pretty. We'll print this one. And I'm going to tell you, don't cherry pick the set, buy the whole set. Cause I think you end up, when you do the dollar difference, you get a couple of them for free, right? This is an exclusive. This is an exclusive where we could just go and add some marks. Let's do that quick, actually. What color do we want to put in there? I'm going to put some black in here, friends. There's black acrylic, right? I have it. I have it here. Did you see how excited I got with that? This one's on black. So I'm going to load my brayer and I'm going to add some black X's. Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, sir. Let's do a few more here. Love it. So when that dries, we'll have a couple black little markies on there too, okay? I got to clean that mess up now. Me too, Ange. Me too. Might do a couple more right here just because I have it. Look at that. Fun. But let's quickly wipe that disaster up. If you had an extra gel plate beside you, you can use it as a pellet. Okay, so see how I'm using a baby wipe? Normally, I would wipe all that paint up dry first rather than reconstituting it with wet, because then you just make more black paint. But that wasn't too bad. That could have been a lot worse. Let's do this quickly. Because it was pretty wet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing that one-handed. Look at that. I love it. So the 3 sets are through American Crafts, right? So those ones are all manufactured in a different way. So we can't get as much detail as the sets that I carry on VickiBoutin.com. My exclusive set are all North American made and they're laser printed. So the art is way more detailed. So that's where you will notice we can't do fine detail on the Vicki Boutin sets. I hope you guys can hear me. Just give me a second. That was a lot of mess. I couldn't even deal with the black. I'm an oxymoron as a mixed media artist because I'm a mixed media artist who can't keep the mess, right? I got to clean the mess up as I go. So I feel better when it's done. And then plus I can go to bed and I don't have to sit down here and clean for an hour after. I love how you're using everything, no waste. And that's how it should be, right? You can make art out of anything. Love the dot scribbles. Me too. Okay, I just wet my brayer. So now I just got to get all the moisture out of it. Okay, this is going to be fun to pick up, isn't it? You can see my uncombed hair there. I'm pretty sure, because that's the kind of day I had, right? I need to clean. Well, because I do scrapbooking too down here, right? So if I have a total disaster and then I want to do something with paper, then it's a mess. So I like to clean while I go. Okay. So I've decided, let's try this. Do we want this just as white? I feel like it needs to be. I ask you and then I just do what I want anyway, right? But I feel like I need to lift this with white because so much pretty is going on. Here we go. That's what we're doing tonight, Angie. We're making some cards for, what is it called? World Card Making Day tomorrow. So I'm just early. Or we'll pretend we're in Australia and I'm right on time. So let's do our ghost print. That's a lot of paint right now, right? So I'm going to clean my brayer off, because if it's not dry enough, you will not lift it. If it's too wet, you will not lift all the pretty art. It has to be an onion skin layer of white. So we need to find something we can brayer off and make sure that that is a nice thin layer. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited. Are you excited for this reveal? So we are going to now rub palm of your hand, pick up all those areas, because we're trying to glue it with that white layer. All the layers that were on that gel plate, we're going to lift up, because how many? About 5 or 6 layers on here. We want to get as much of that on to this background as possible. So you want that white paint to pretty much dry right now to your white paper, and then lift all of the pieces that were underneath it. This is so pretty. Here we go. Can you see? Look at that, my friends. I love it. So pretty much everything that was on there, all those layers are right there. Isn't that pretty? Love it. So let's do some quick ones. Let's pick up some gold on this purple. What do we want to do it with? Ooh, look at this. Let's do these. So this is like the like love words. I'm going to do it upside down so they print the right way. And we are going to put some gold through here and pick that up. Where are you, gold? There you are. So this one, I want to lift it while it's pretty wet. Instead of the ghost print, we want to lift this so it's, a pretty thick layer of gold, so that it's gold on top of that purple. Okay. So we are going to lift that quickly. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. And then I don't want to waste. Remember, we don't want to waste. Let's see. Can we, I'm going to wet this a little bit. Let's see if we can deposit this back on to the plate. And I'm just putting a little wet on here because it's so thick. So let's see if we can deposit that on the plate. We'll rub it on with this. See, it's moving around, so it should be on there. Let's brayer another color through it and pick that up. Okay, so let's wipe this. And let's add another color through it and pick it up. I'm going to have to scrub my hands. I'm going to be a messy, messy girl. I just don't want all that gold just sitting on there. Okay, wipe your palette knife off. You keep your tools clean. They last forever, right? Let's put a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the pink. And the yellow, maybe. No, I don't think it'll contrast enough. A little bit of the pink and the orange. Eek. Okay. I have to pick that up too, though. Let's do that too. As well, also. Just a sec. Okay. Oh, I love that. Okay. Let's see what we get. I'm hoping the gold is on there. I don't know. Do I have one more sheet of clean? I just threw stuff on the floor. My hand is dirty. I'm doing a little sandwich deal. You ready? So we're going to pick up what's on the mat, and I'm going to clean my stencil off at the same time. We're going to sandwich it all together. So one is going to be the print. One is just going to be what can we pick up off this dirty stencil. And then we should get a pattern. Oh my goodness. So that's just the dirty stencil, right? Not wasted. There's a little bit of gold left. And what do we get on our print? And that is the print. Oh my good Lord. That is so beautiful. Can you see the metallic? So that was the print. It's a little wet because I misted it. This was cleaning off the dirty stencil. Right? And wasn't there another piece? Oh, the other side was what was left on the stencil. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's try that. Can we get anything else off of it? I don't know, but I love those colors so much. And my mister is not even, doesn't even have, let's see. We're putting a little water on here, but we're going to do the things. See what kind of a mess we can make. So I'm going to pick some of this up because it's too wet to print. And then we're going to print it on one of our backgrounds. So let's just take it up on the side, a little bit of that off. Okay. And now, because this, what we're talking about when the paint's wet, right? That, let's see what it'll print. See what it'll print. I'm not going to lie, if you let that dry, you get a really cool effect. If you let the wet stuff dry, and it will dry like that, it's a really cool effect. Like, see, all of this will dry with those watermarks on it. See how it starts to bead? Now, if I press down with something, well, if I press down with something with paint, it will just kind of bleed and smush. If I press down with a cheaper white piece of cardstock, because it's absorbent, we should be able to pick that up. Let's try it. Let's try it with wet or with just plain cardstock. If I put it on acrylic, it's like it already has a layer on it, right? So it won't do anything. But let's see what we'll get. And then because that blue was so thick, it might squish. I don't know what we're going to get. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is kind of pretty. That's the water. That's so when you're doing things that are wet, like your sprays, that's kind of what you're going to get. Okay. Now this is because the paint was so thick. So it's almost textured. But let's pick this up on what color backgrounds do we have left? I have a mess, my friends, everywhere. all this stuff. Okay. Oh, that's very pretty. Look at that. And what do we have left on here? Because I do want to just kind of put a little bit of a print on this so we can use it. Let's look at what the colors that we have. This is going to have to dry because it's very wet. It's very pretty though. We have this that we can use. We have this we can use. We have this I definitely will use. We need to print a few more that we can make our card with. So what time is it? 9:30. Got to plug my computer, and that would have been bad. It would have died on us. I would like a little bit more black, to be honest with you. So let's do something where we're going to add black, and then that color will just be shining through. We've done a lot of the polka dots, so I don't want to do that. Let's try this one. Okay, a little bit of black. Is anybody out there gel plate printing with me? Are you working on anything else while you're hanging out? What do we have? Making cards. I love it. Very fun. Got a little bit green in there, some of the hearts. Let's start fresh. Just chilling. Long week. I hear you, my friend. Babysitting kittens. That's exciting. How old are they? I'm wiping that off. Just took a baby wipe. Just wiping that off. Because now I'm just adding some pattern, right? Hanging out in your hotel room. Where did you say you were, Betty? Did you say? Citywide yard sale day. Oh my goodness, you must be exhausted. Packing for craft supplies for sale tomorrow. Very exciting. This week's been long. I hear ya. I'm doing my fussy cutting for the Aussie cruise. Love it. I have COVID. Ooh. So take care of yourself. That's not fun. Hopefully it is not too bad, right? Making a haunted house. I love that. Just enjoying learning the process. I love that. Okay. A little bit of cleanup. Let's see what we have because we need some contrast, right? Because we're going to cut some circles out. So I love this one. I have to say that's one of my favorites. I love this one too, but they're the same stencil. So let's just add some to the ones I don't love so much right now. Let's just add some pattern. And love that one is good. That's good. Sheet is good. So let's just do some little things like this where we're just going to add some color on here to start. Because they're a little blah. Your travel journal for Canada. I love that. That's where I am. Let's pick that up on the side of this. Just layer, 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 right? That is the magic with the gel plate prints or any mixed media art, right? And then you just get it all over you. I just want to add a layer of color on that. Let's see what we get. Oh, look how fun that is. How fun that is. Just added. This is not for the faint of heart, though. I just want you guys to know you need to. You run out of space, right, with the mess all around you. Cécile Lavoie. Tell her I said hello, my little friend. That'll be fun. Bubble wrap. I love it. Anything that will make an impression will work as long as it doesn't have a sharp edge, right? So let's just do some like super simple color applications on what's existing. So see this one? That's a lot of black going on. I'm going to see if we can add a little bit of pink on top of that. I don't want to use snowflakes. That doesn't really. Let's use these ones. Let's put this on. Question. Did you find any of the gold glaze in your inventory? I have tons of it. I have tons of gold and silver. I just haven't put it up in the shop because I'm not there to ship. So it's there, Sarah. I have tons of stuff. I have all of these pastes, all of the things, but I can't go in there and actually fill orders right now. So it will probably happen when I get back. So in the month of December, I will have lots up in there because, yeah, until I have help, it's coming close, but somebody has to train my help, right? And that would be me. And because I have instructions to write and getting ready for this epic trip to New Zealand and Australia, it's making it a little hard to do some. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Some of the things, right? So I don't want to put it on that one. Let's put it on here. I'm going to put it on there, on this side. Love it. Let's try to put this onto the background. Let's see if we can get it to transfer. And I still have some pink on here, so we'll get maybe 2 tones of that pink. Just don't want to waste it, right? If it's wet enough that I can get it off of here. I did. I got some of it off. So let's pick that up on another sheet. Where's my bubble wrap? Because we can lift some of that. Let's lift a little bit of that pattern. And now let's see what we can get to print. Probably nothing. We might need to, this one might need to be, where do we have anything? I don't know if it's wet enough. A little bit, transferred a little bit, but it's going to have to be picked up now with another color because it's too dry. But love that first application of it. You can tell the pink is kind of my favorite. You need silver. I have tons of it. Silver and gold, silver and gold. I have lots of it. Ooh, oh, I gotta fix that. I threw it across and I just threw it on my jury duty application. That's how Vicki rolls. I was trying to throw it in the garbage. They want me to fill out for jury duty. I'm like, I'm busy, man. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's pick this up now. I wonder if the blue will be too dark. Let's try it. Got nothing to lose, right? Got nothing to lose, Vicki. Now, it might be too dark to actually pick any of this pigment up, but we're going to try it. A little bit of blue and a little bit of the yellow. If I have them, like I said, it just has to be when I get back. Let's see if this will work, because if it will, it's going to be very pretty. Very pretty. Indeed. And then we need to make some cards, so got to be done with this now, Vicki. May I ask if you moved locally or moved cities? I am still in my home. I just opened up or leased a space for shipping, really. And I have gonna put my filming studio in there. So when I do the weekend events and eventually get back to being able to film um, online classes like my weekend events, I just want something where the internet connection is better. Ooh, look at this one, friends. Are you ready? That is surprisingly pretty. Look at that. But let's put another layer on that one. Now we can re-add the pink on top. Never nosy, right? A question. I'll answer it. If I don't want to, I won't, right? So I'm going to try some pink now on top of that now. And then let's do the things. And I'm not even cleaning the brayer, so whatever colors we get, we get. How pretty is that? Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so what do we have? Are any of these really bad that require a little bit something more? Those are pretty good. This one is still a little wet. But we could do a whole layer of something else on top of it. Let's do it. Let's be cleaned. Purple? Let's go for it. Is the gel panel the same composition as the stuff used in clear stamps? No. It is made actually from petroleum jelly. So it is not the same as what is in acrylic stamps. That is like a polymer. So people make them from gelatin. They just, I find, I don't know why you could do that if you want to. It's a lot of work. And if the product is already really awesome, I'm just going to use what's already out there, but you can make it out of gelatin. I'm just going to try to duplicate that a little bit. And we'll print that on the side of this one. So that gives me another little bit of pattern. We can add a little bit on here too. Just so when we cut these out, we have something different. And now I'm going to say, let's make some art. Let's make some cards because we do a lot of these gel plate printing. I'm going to be here for a while, but I'm totally okay with that, right? Yeah, made homemades, they get moldy. Because it is not the same, right? It's not as stable a material as these ones are. It's fun, I think, to try it, and maybe too if you have a budget, right? But if you're good to your gel plate, I don't think you ever need to replace it, right? It's a pretty stable material. So I think for some, it's like, oh, this is fun. I love to, look online and see different things and try the things. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's pick this one up just as a ghost print. I'm going to use this is the matte acrylic gel. So I should be able to print this on one of the backgrounds that we already have. So let's try it because there's a lot of pretty color on here. I'm hoping I have something That doesn't have a lot of anything going on. Let's try it on here. What are we going to lift up? Let's try it. Yeah, you look after it and it'll look after you. I agree, right? I put this on very crooked. Let's see what we get. Just threw it on there. Oh my goodness, how pretty is this? Look at that. That's one of my favorite ones, and that was just cleaning the gel plate off, and that was using the, right? The, oh my goodness, brain fart. The matte acrylic medium. So let's try it a little bit. I wonder if I can get another one off of it. I don't know if it's wet still. Try. Not really. Some of it. Look at that. So let's try to pick a little bit more. I just need way less. Just going to try to pick up some of these areas of dirty that are magical to make a print. Let's see if we can get them. Question. Is mica powder water reactive? It depends what kind of mica powder it is, right? So if you're using like, I'm trying to remember, what are those called? The Ranger little tubes that I'm, powders that I'm forgetting. They're set by water. So they're water reactive in the sense that you set those by using water. But mica powders are usually just little flakes of mica. So they aren't going to really change when you add water unless there's a pigment in them. Do you know what I'm saying, Josie? Is it Jose or Josie? Mica powder is usually like little tiny flakes of pigment. Perfect pearls. Thank you. I'm tired. So perfect pearls. So perfect pearls is a type of like mica powder, powder thin, that you use water sets them. So are they water reactive? I'd say no, but the water will set them. But that doesn't mean every type of mica powder is going to work like that. Like mica powder, you usually would use to add pigment or sparkle. So it depends what kind of mica powders you're using. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's do some things. I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to make some cards. See, so to clean it, I just take a baby wipe. Just got to make sure your baby wipes are not the kind that are going to like leave little fluff all over your gel plate. So all I want to do is just take some of that extra boogers off. If you want to deep clean, you would clean it with baby oil. Okay. But I have never needed to do that yet. But to condition your plate, you could do that. But for now, we'll just do this. And I just have it all on a sheet of cardstock. So that means cleanup is going to be pretty easy. I'll move it to the floor or somewhere for now, and then I'll clean it up in a second. Because I have zero real estate left because I've made such a mess. And here, I'm not a chemist. I just know perfect pearls, I would think, are like fine mica. Now, I'm sure the Ranger people, if you have one of the chemists at Ranger, might be lies, Vicki. Total lies. Because I know I used to use them all the time. I used to use them to make my own sprays if I wanted a little sparkle in them. I used to do a lot of Ranger classes, right? I have loved Tim Holtz Distress forever. I have done classes back in the day with Distress ink, and it would be an all-day class, just different ways to use them. I've been doing mixed media probably with my scrapbooking for freaking ever. probably since the day I started, because I was a fine artist. Went to school for fine art. Oh, sorry about that. Throw my garbage away and just rip this right out of the wall. Let's fix that. Oh my goodness. Seriously, Vicki, you are nothing but trouble. Did you like that? Did you get scared? I didn't trip. I just got it caught in my toe. What a crazy lady. So we're getting rid of all this stuff and we're going to make some cards. Oh, that was funny. Dingleberry. Vicki almost fell down while she was doing her live. Because she's all kinds of special. Okay. Quick scrub. Clean up your area if you're working along with me. And we're going to make some cards now out of our mixed media art. Our gel plate prints. Seriously, crazy lady. All kinds of wackadoo.
Who's on camera?
What?
Who's on the camera?
Nobody. I have to clean. And then I had just got my toe caught and unplugged my light. But I can't leave the mess. I've got to clean up while I'm going. Rich wanted to know who was on camera. My invisible friend. What do you call that? What do you call that? When you have a friend that nobody else can see?
I don't know.
It's imaginary. It's my imaginary friend. I'm going to make cards now.
Simon had a bun while we were gone. He took the hamburger bun, out of the bag and was eating
on the island.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, my friends? Simon was on the island and he ate a hamburger bun. So now we lock him in Devin's room. Because whatever the digestive results are going to be of that, the child who wanted the cat can deal with it. Why did he eat a bun?
He didn't really eat it. He poked it.
What, through the plastic?
Yeah, then he pulled it out. It was on the table. And then there was little chunks of it everywhere.
Oh my gosh. That cat, man. He is a piece of work, isn't he?
But then he greeted me at the door.
Saying, hey, I had a little bit of your supper too. Rich just decided to shut the door on us. So I guess he was done with us. Okay. All right, friends, let's make some cards. I've got my card bases cut. Oh, he's funny. So he does not like the rules of you're not allowed on the island or the table. If you came to see my house right now too, you'd be like, oh, a cat lives here. Because we have open railing on our stairs. So it's Jimmy rigged with cardboard. The whole thing is covered in cardboard. All my furniture, it looks like the coat of many colors that my mama made for me. The house looks like the cat likes to scratch all my furniture. It is not fun. Such a little bugger. He is a little bugger. So I'm sure pet owners out there are like sitting there going, yep. Everybody who comes in there will know you have a cat. So here's what we have, friends. Let's clean up. Let's make some cards because you guys do this mixed media with me. I'm turned away for a second here. And then it's like, okay, what do we do with it? Well, let's make something out of it. Oops. My new car thinks the table is lovely. Oh, your new cat to stretch out on. My goodness. I'm telling you. I'm like, no. And I haven't had pets for a long time because Rich can't breathe right now. I have allergies from the cat. And we've had a clean house. And then you get a cat and then you remember, right? You say jerry rigged. It probably is the way it is said, but I just make shit up. I'm not gonna lie, Rebecca. I just make it up. My daughter has 5 cats of all ages, and it's very interesting. Oh, I'm telling you, our cat ruled the house for 18 years. Miss him dearly, I bet. Bugger, but cute. He's a bugger, but he's cute. Okay, so let's look at what we made. So here are the pieces of art. So now you could take any of these and we could stamp on top of them, right? You could stencil on top. So that one was cleaning our stencil. I love this one. We have this guy. This guy. That was cleaning the stencil, and look at some of the paper glued. I love this. Look at that contrast. Hello, Carissa. How are you? That one. This one's like Little Mermaid. Looks like under the sea. This one. So we made like lots of different prints, right? This was our cleaning sheet, the sheet we were rolling off on. That is with a little distress ink. I love that with all the gold. This is what we printed, the black. And we have this one too. Right? We didn't do very much on the black. I should have done a little bit more. Okay. And I'm not done. We have these ones too. We have these. So that one was cleaning off the plate with the matte acrylic gel. I love, like, it gives it kind of a diffused look, doesn't it? And there's that one. And this. And ooh, look at that, Jill. Look at that gold. And this one is just cleaning stencils. And I love that. It looks kind of speckled. Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. Yes, ours is on Sunday. We're going to my sister-in-law's. So it will be nice to get together with the fam jam. So I made a slimline card base. So that I'm going to 3.5 by 8.5. Hopefully my hands are clean and I'm not going to transfer, right? You're campaigning for what? What is board doodle? What is that, Beth? This one is a 4x4 because this is just what I cut out of the 8.5 by 11, correct? Right. So we could have gel plated right on some of these backgrounds. That could have been cool too. Do you make the same stuff for your Thanksgiving? Sure do. Pretty much. Well, I don't think like that's the sweet potato thing you guys do with the marshmallows or whatever on it. I don't think that's really a Canadian thing. Pumpkin pie, turkey, ham, mashed potato stuffing, cranberry sauce. I make, because we're vegetable lovers, so I always bring with me. I will be making, it's a big, beautiful puppy. I love that. I make a broccoli and cauliflower cheese baked thing. So I just steam my broccoli and cauliflower, and then I make a roux and put the cheese in it and then bake it in the oven. So it's just with the cheese sauce on it, and then I just bake it in the oven, and it is one of the biggest freaking hits, right? Sweet potatoes with marshmallows is our family favorite. I don't think, maybe other Canadians, do you guys make that? I've never made that, but I don't like sweet, so that is not yummy to me, right? Yeah, the purple looks like tire treads, sure. Yeah, I don't like sweet, so that is not in any way appealing to me, but I'm sure people love that because I see a lot of people have that, right? I got to clean some of these up because they're kind of crooked, but it's good. I'm doing prime rib, no turkey this year. Sounds delicious. We enjoy broccoli and cauliflower. I love it. I'm telling you, hugest, if you want it is the weirdest thing. I brought it one year because normally I just make cauliflower and we put cheese sauce on it. And I thought for ease, I'm just going to make a huge casserole dish. And I steam the cauliflower and broccoli so it's quick. And then so it's still crunchy. And then cover it in cheese sauce. And then I just bake it in the oven. And I'm telling you, it is a humongous hit. You don't put so you see, we'll roast sweet potatoes, but I don't do the sweet stuff. Nope, never heard of sweet potato and marshmallows. Now, I don't know, like it could be some people do it. Nope. I don't like cranberry sauce or marshmallows in salad. I love cranberry sauce now, though. We roast sweet potatoes with acorn squash, but no marshmallows. I take my acorn squash, you cut it in half, you take the seeds out, and then I put butter on it. And you can buy spice that's called pumpkin pie spice, which is just a whole mix of like nutmeg and cinnamon. And I put that on with salt and pepper and I roast that in the oven. And that is excellent. That is excellent. Brown sugar. Yeah, we've had that. But again, right? Like I used to hate when my parents, I would make ham and put the pineapple rings on it and the cloves. I'm like, I'm out. I don't like sweet and savory, right? I like it has to be separate, but I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Now that Jack Daniels sounds like a winner to me. What happened with Jack Daniels? Missed that. What did you put Jack Daniels on? So remember, friends, I'm just going to use, well, one thing I want to do, look at, we have embossing folders. And I find that taking a pattern and then putting it through your embossing folder, let's see if we have one that's simple enough that it will look good, like this. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of that. Where is that going to go? I'm going to do it so that it'll fit on the one of these. I want a background that we will emboss. So let's do, and I want that edge on it because that's kind of awesome. So these are going to be, so I want it to be slightly smaller than 4 inches. Slightly smaller than 4 inches. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Oh my goodness. Don't you love that? Is take this and it is going to be the base for one of my cards. And I want it to be, so 5 1/4-ish. Did I do that right? Like, look at that. So that is going to be the base for one of these cards, but it's going to go through an embossing folder. And I think I'm just going to do this one that's just like dots. So do I want the pattern to be embossed or debossed? I am thinking I want it to be debossed. So I'm going to put it upside down in my embossing folder. So that's one of the things I'm going to do with my art. And I'm going to do both of them because we could also then punch some circles through that. Now, of course, I don't use this stuff all the time. I'm going to have to figure out what I need to put on here to do this. And I don't even know if I have all of my stuff, so we'll see. I don't think I need this. I think it will fit in here. I think this will work. Let's try it. I don't know if this, no, I need more. I need more. I need another plate. I got to find one. Just a second. Just a second. I might be here until 11 o'clock tonight. Spray with water? Sure. Let's do it. I have no water in here, but this paper's pretty thin. I don't really think I need to do it, but we can. But the paper's so thin, I probably don't even need to do it. Is that one going to work now? I think that's too thick. Oh, well, it helps if you actually have everything straight on here. Vicki just is crazy. So let's try it. So this is too thick. Okay. Let's take this out. There we go. It softens the fibers of the paper. So you get a really nice embossed image without tearing the fibers. Now, just hope that it didn't glue too. Here we go. So look at that, my friends. Look how pretty. So it's wet. It needs to dry. I need to heat gun it. But that just adds a whole other layer of texture magic on there. Okay, we need to heat that. Let's do another one. And we won't wet this one. And we'll emboss it. And let's just see what result we get. The paper's super thin. Oh, look at how pretty that is, friends. I love that so much. Isn't that pretty? So our pattern is in there already, right? And then you just have that on here. There we go. Don't forget, it's already 10 o'clock. And this is because, right, I'm doing lots of different things with the art. It should have just been gel plate. And then like next week, we'll make cards, but whatever. I feel like doing it. So let's just do the things. So like I'm saying, this literally could be your card art. You could cut your mats out of that and then just put a big sentiment. But what I find is going to be fun is let's cut some circles out of it. And I want to do two different things. I'm going to cut the circle so we can keep this as a full sheet, but we can also use the circle art out of it. Okay. So let's find some circles. This is going to take a minute because I want to position what will fit on here. I'm going to do two like this. So I'm going to do, let's do this for our, I might end up using like one freaking print, but I really like this one. So I'm going to use this print and I'm going to do something on the slim line here, which then I only need a strip, right? That is about, Vicki just threw everything on the floor, 3 1/4. And we're going to cut circles out of it and then use it. Right? Cut that off. So I want to now put circles on there, right? So these are going to be too big. This is not going to work on here. So let's just do big. We'll do big down the middle of it instead. It'll be faster too. So we need the height to be, so just give me a second here. You have the wild turkey with honey whiskey over here. The rocks right now feeling good. Good for you. I don't think I've ever in my life drank whiskey. Well, I think I might have tried it at one time, but I think it burns my gut. And if I attempted to have an alcoholic beverage right now, I'd be snoring. It would knock me right out. Okay, so look at that. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. You ready? So this is going to be the mat for this card, but we're going to cut circles out of that. So let's decide how we can do this where it kind of, let's center the first one ish on the card. I don't have, oh, I do have a ruler. So we're going to center ish it. So the height of this is about just shy of 8 1/4. So I'm going to eyeball, we'll eyeball this. So 8 1/4 would be for here. That looks center-ish. Does not have to be perfect. Take a little piece of washi. And hope that it, I have mint tape somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So, oh, it's right in front of you, ding dong. Use that instead. Use that instead, you ding dong. Now, sometimes I have to shim this because it's not enough. Let's see what happens. Is it enough? I feel like it needs a little shim. It doesn't feel like enough pressure. Is that enough of a shimmy shim? Probably not. We'll see. I just don't feel. I feel like that's only going to make an impression. It didn't cut, but oh, it did. I'm a liar. All right. Ooh, so we can use this. Do you see what I'm talking about now when we get contained funk? Like, look how beautiful the art turns out to be. Just cutting that out, right? This paper is very thin. Love it. This is all eyeballed, so we're just going to say it looks good. Looks good. How are we doing out there? There's still lots of you here, so thank you very much. I know some of you aren't different time zone than me. Friends that are on the same are probably like, yeah, enough of this noise. I'm going to bed, Vicki. That one did not cut. Let's do that again. I don't think I put it all the way through. Janice, how are you, my friend? Look at me. I'm being a card maker tonight. I miss you, my friend. I have not forsaken you as a friend. Vicki just has 0 amounts of life. But oh my goodness, look, look, lookity look. How beautiful is that going to be? That now we could stamp in those circles, right? We could stamp inside those. You could put words in them. We could put another circle inside. I have ideas, but that's going to be kind of my frame for this. I love that. And then we have 3 circles for whatever we want to use them for, right? But totally love that. So that's 1. We are going to use one of these backgrounds as a base for another card, right? So that, this is out of 1 gel plate print. And we probably could make a couple cards out of 1 print, right? So now let's just cut some circles out. So I would like to look, where did I put them? Here, let's do the things. Ooh, look at that. So let's cut at least one circle out of that. Make it small enough to fit in my die cut machine. We'll cut 2 out of this. I need to find these ones. I've lost all of my circles. So let's use this guy. And we will do 3. I'm going to do 3 different sizes out of this, okay? That. This. And this. And I have to tell you, the cutting mats from scrapbook.com are magic. These magic mats. It makes like, oh my goodness, like look at that. Look at this. It almost looks flocked. And I didn't swear at you, flocked. Love it. So there's 3 circles out of that. Okay, just going to cut some circles. We're going to do some things. Oh, let's do some out of this gold piece too. Contained. That's what happens at this time of night. Contained funk, right? So when we take these gel plate prints that some of you out there might have been looking at them going, ooh, geez. Okay, I know some people would like that. I think it's very crazy. This is the sheet we were cleaning our brayer off. Let's cut some out of that. But now when we take it and put it in a shape, it's absolutely stunning. In my personally, in my opinion, what am I trying to say? Like, look at that section right there. Let's cut something out of there. In my personal opinion, that's what I was attempting to say. And not well at all. I have to say, you have to play around with your pressure. Like maybe put a paper shim in it, right? Can you get magic mats for your store? No, because they're a scrapbook.com exclusive, right? They don't sell them anywhere, but I do love it. I love it. I find I can cut my Tim Holtz dies, like the ones at Christmas time, the little holly and ivy that I can never get to cut. If I use my magic mat, I can cut the intricate cuts. So maybe it is one of those things that you just need the right amount of pressure. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is because, right, I have found I've had success with it. Let's cut some stuff out of this too. Ooh, I'm going to cut it in half so I can get both sides, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I love the magic mat. But like with everything, it's personal preference. Like maybe you don't get the right results with it, right? And I'm like, I love it. I love it. Okay, here are my circles. Are we just going to use those 3 sizes? Maybe we'll do one big one. Maybe we'll do one big one. Let's do that. Like this. And this. Maybe we can get both. I love this gold one. So as much as I can get out of it, I'm going to. Let's switch that around. Yes, that will work. Just don't want your dies to overlap because it'll wreck it, right? Wreck it, Ralph. Let's see. Are you excited? I'm excited to see what this one looks like. Yeah, order all the sizes when you get it. Like, you know what I mean? Depending. Like, I have all the machines, so let's see. Was that enough pressure? So, see, that's interesting because, like, I just have to make sure I use the right amount of pressure, right? If I don't have the right amount of pressure, it doesn't work. But look at, I just thought that wasn't, I don't have that cracking noise and all the rest of it. And I find, right, I would use this as a background still. On your layouts too, you could back that with a different pattern paper. And then look at those pretty gold little circles, right? I love that. And I'm going to show you something because we could distress ink through this because it's acrylic paint, and acrylic paint will resist the distress ink. So you could put it on after the fact, right? Been wanting to try a magic mat to see how it works. Could you use an extra shim to help you cut those intricate cuts? Just a thought. That's what I was saying. I would just like fold a piece of paper and add another shim, but I freaking love it. I love it. What else was I going to cut? This. So I want to do something. This was one of my ideas. Let's go with these two sizes circles. And I'm going to cut a couple because I have an idea. Let's just get 3 out of that one. So like I said, this is going to be a late night. This might be a 2-parter for some of you guys. Like you might be like, holy crap, is she ever going to be done? But I have to work through now my creative. I can't stop because I have ideas. I love this paper, I have to say. Oh, see, that one didn't cut through so well, but we'll cheat and just pull it out. It could have been placed because I put at the top of the mat instead of the center, but I can clean that up. I'll just clean it up with my scissors. But let's do another one now because I was cheating. Do another set, Vicki. And then let's just throw the shim on there. Let's see if that helps. And like, that's my shim. Just throw a little extra piece of pattern or paper on there. And sometimes that little bit of extra, right? I need to oil this sucker, right? Let's see. Oh, those are perfect. I love that. So one of my ideas was this. So I need something that's very contrasty with that paper I just cut. I might want to do one more set though. There we go. Like I said, and two, I always find my card makers, my stampers, you guys are, look at Vicki just doesn't even line anything up. She just starts rolling. So hopefully these don't move. They are going to move. Ah, it's not lined up, right? Let's see. That still worked. I just guess at stuff, not going to lie. Because I'm not like a traditional card maker stamper. I'm just a all art artist. I do all the things. So I'm sure some of you cringe when you see me doing certain things because you're like, oh my goodness, one, she's making it way too hard for herself, or two, she's not using that the right way. I just do it, right? Oh, and then you cut it upside down. That's always good. Let's do that. So I'm sure for some of it, you look at it and go, oh my goodness, what is she doing? Like this, where it's not even all lined up. See that? She's a hot mess. She is a hot mess. I am. I'll be the first to admit it. So now we need something that's going to contrast with this for my idea. I just love the feel of these gel plate prints too. Like, oh, it feels almost like fabric. So what do we have? How about the black? That would contrast, wouldn't it? Let's see. We'll see. We'll try it, right? Won't hurt. But part of me wants to use that too. So let's just use this side. We'll do this side. I'm losing lots of you now because it's getting late. So let's try. Vicki needs to stop and just make cards out of some of the things that we have here, right? I know my mom, who always stays up and watches, is probably gone to bed. She'll be like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow, honey, because you are crazy and this is way too late tonight. So let's do it. This one idea I have where I want to cut these in half, and I will end up sewing it later, right? I'm going to sew them later. So some of these cards won't be finished tonight, but you're going to see the direction I'm going in, okay? They won't be finished tonight, but I will explain what I'm doing. It'd be nice if I could post some of them right tomorrow for World Card Making Day. That is so true, Marcia. How are you? So many ideas, so little time. It is right now 10:30 here, but like I said, I'm not a quitter. I've got to at least finish part of what I started. Got to finish at least part of what I started. Okay, Julie, we'll see you later. You can watch your rest tomorrow if you want, or whenever you get a chance. Julie said she has to go before her iPad hits the floor because she's fallen asleep. I get it. This was a late one tonight, wasn't it? This was a late one. So something I have to do quickly now, because I'm going to paper piece, is I need to quickly cut out of anything, just a couple circles we can attach those to. My idea. I know with the greenery, but a lot of times I want to cut it out of my mixed media, right, Elena? I love those dies, but there's a couple of them I have a really hard time cutting. Like they just won't cut. I use the like the shims, everything, right? You need to go eat before it's too late, Dorina. One more. Okay. So we haven't cut everything, but we'll do something, right? I can at least make a couple of cards from what we're here. Okay, let's do the things. I'll clean up all this stuff later, but I'm going to use what the art we have so far. I just don't want to lose my dies. This is what I tend to do, right? Anybody else? Are you a messy? I've asked you this before. I'll ask you again tonight. Are you a messy crafter or are you a tidy crafter? Messy crafter or a tidy crafter? Because that can be a problem too, right? I want to cut these out. Look at that. This. This. Look at that. It's pretty. I'm going to cut the art out of the art. You're messy. I am a combo. Like it'll be a mess while I'm in the middle, right? In the process. But I'd have to say I'm pretty tidy normally, because the crazy in me comes out and I'm like, ooh, I can't find anything. So I just cut the art out of these. See? So this was that, right? The stencil I used had that art in it. So I'm just trying to cut the circles around that. And then let's get that one out of the corner. Whoop, whoop. With the little one. Oh, I love it so much. I love that. I have to use that stencil again and then cut the art out of it with circles. That was one of the Vicki Boutin exclusive ones. So it's not in American Crafts. It's just on my website. I think called Doodle Circles, or I don't even remember which one it was. But look how pretty those are. I love that. Look, I love that. Art is so pretty right there, isn't it? Look at those. I wish you guys could feel it. Can you see the texture on here? Gel plate printing is just magic, because if you've struggled with acrylic paints before, it makes using acrylic paints magic, because it's such a thin layer. They're dry instantly. It's not finicky at all. Oh, I love gel plate printing. We have so much more, man. We're just tapping the surface too. Just tapping the surface. So let me put these on. Let's make some cards quick. So I have some ideas. Let's do it. So, right, the gel plate prints, some of them are going to take center stage. Some of them are really literally just a jumping off, if that makes sense. It's just a jumping off point. Oh my goodness. Okay. Moving all the stuff. I'm moving all the stuff onto the floor so I can trip on it later. Okay. So this is what we cut out of, right? This was just for the naked ones. Like, look, we didn't even use all of the things. So here's one card that I want to make. Oh, Vicki, where'd these come from? I don't even know. This is not from this set. See, moving all the stuff and losing all the stuff. Losing all the stuff. Dingleberry. Okay. So we have this. We have our card bases. I need to get, because I feel like I want to put, so I'm going to grab a set of butterfly stamps, okay? This is going to be a peekaboo card. So I can put some little black, I'm going to put black butterflies in those. Let's grab it, because that's the vision. And I believe Vicki Boutin will have butterflies around here. Could put a flower in there. Put a heart in there. know whose set that is. Doo-doo. Let's get Timmy's butterflies. They might be too big. We'll see. This might work and they might not. They might be big, right? They're kind of big, aren't they? Yeah, too big. That was close. Almost Tim's butterflies. They're not going to be tonight. I have this little set that I think is a Hero Art set. This one might work. That little guy right there, I think will work. So that's something. We know this is going to be a base. And we'll put something on top of it. Don't know yet. Really, it could be one of those cards that is pretty simple. Vicky's folding was atrocious too, just so if you're wondering. My card bases are not square at all. Better. Not perfect, but better. How we doing? Still lots of you here. So thank you for the Vicki Booten all-nighter live. You know how I roll. You never know what you're going to get, right? Never know what you're going to get. So that is not perfectly square. Don't care because it's supposed to be like an art card. Do you see what I'm saying? Just that base. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, right? I'm telling you, I don't know if you can, I'm hoping, can you see that? That's what the embossing folder on that art. I love that. Seriously, love that. If I put nothing else on that but a sentiment, I love that card, right? And now I'm going to put this flat because it's not thick enough to add any kind of dimension on it. So now we're putting the bones down. Oops. I don't know if I'm going to put this down yet. I could be a liar because I think I want to stamp those butterflies first. So I'm going to use it like this for placement. You're going to laugh. So I'm going to stamp actually on the back of this just for placement because they're going to be peekaboo. Oh my gosh, Vicki. Peekaboo. They're going to be peekaboo butterflies. Do we want them to peek out or kind of be centered? They're still too big to be centered. Well, we could. Just going to be exactly. But I think it'd be fun to kind of do that, right? Where it just peeks out of the corner. Or let's grab one with a little, what about this guy? Peekaboo. Let's do him peekaboo. Vicki was trying to say peekaboo. So should I try to center them? Got to stand up. Because this, I just want to be kind of fast and furious card making tonight. I'm going to do a peekaboo. Peekaboo butterfly. Love it. Okay. So. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Vicki can't do two things at once. I love that. Little peekaboo butterflies. Now, it is not perfect right here, but there's no reason I can't just pretend and add so it looks closer to there. There. Now, in a Vicki world, you know what I would, if I had it and I had a circle stamp that was slightly, oh, or you could sew around that, would be really cool. But isn't that pretty? Love it. Peekaboo. So I will finish this, but that is the beginning of 1 and 2, right? So like I'm saying, look at, I don't have like a, but imagine, look at that, just a die cut like that. I need a whole set of these handwritten puffy stickers that are card sentiments. Wouldn't that be awesome? But do you see what I'm saying? Look at. So if I want to use friend, and then I could put like a hello friend. So we're going to say this is what this is going to be. This is going to be a friend card. Okay. And then I'm going to put another word because I like this just as it is. I don't feel like it needs much more. Now this almost looks like a flower. So if I could find a flower stamp that I could put over here and stamp right on top, could be really cool. Right? Can I see something? I just want to look. What happens if we stamp on the embossing, the deboss, and only part of that butterfly is going to stamp? I want to see. Ooh, like look at, so you could put like 2 butterflies on there if you wanted. Do you want me to just go for it? Do you like that or leave it? What's your thoughts? I would just leave that. You just want me to leave it? Like for sure I want hello. I'll put it like a little hello, but we could stamp a butterfly like this, 3 of them right up there. Go for it. Let's do it. You're the first one. Let's try it, right? What have we got to lose? Should have probably done it before I put the sentiment thing on there, but hey, look how many backgrounds I made. If I don't like how this one turned out, I could just do another one. So I'm going to do one right there. Oh, I kind of love that. So let me tell you, the more solid the butterfly, probably, right? You don't want really one with a lot of detail. The more solid it is, the better the effect would be. I have to say, that's my thought on this. Sorry, I had to get my head in there so I could see what I was doing. Kind of love that. Kind of love that. Right? Kind of love it. So, same stamp set on our little mixed media background. And if you don't like it, just don't do it, right? Can I show you what this is going to look like, though, if you stamp this with the texture after? Look at it. Has the polka dots. Oh, didn't show up as much. That's anticlimactic. There were the dots I could see, but not enough ink came off of it. So that was totally anticlimactic when I was like, want to see? And then I'm like, oh, doesn't really look like anything. So that is 2 cards. Love it. And we have one that I think we should just do. This idea. Remember, I had this idea. So I want to take these things that I have here. We'll figure out how it's going to work. But we are going to cut. So I'm going to stack 2 shapes together. Like this. Okay. stack 2. I'm going to cut it on my trimmer. Okay. And then I'm going to add them like that. So we're just going in and paper piecing the little shapes, right? Now, the one thing is the foundation paper and the cardstock are not the same weight, right? Because I was using just cheap cardstock, and the foundation is definitely has a little bit more body. And these aren't super contrasty. So let's see if I can take another one that has a little bit more contrast, right? So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, that could be cool. I want to use those though. Ooh, I don't know what to do. But I like the black. Well, this has a little bit more contrast, doesn't it? So I'm going to cut this one sideways. Go, or that way. What's that? Vertical? Love this so much. Do you remember when I got on here, guys? I was like, oh, I'm tired. And art is the most healing thing. I swear, like I can come on here on a Friday night and be completely exhausted. And I say it every single time. And then, oh my goodness, I feel incredibly invigorated making art. There's that one. Let's see, with more of the pink-ish color. So I won't do this now, but what will happen when you see this finished card is I will sew on all these circles, because now I feel like this is almost like paper quilting. We're doing a little paper piecing, paper quilting, and the finish needs to have stitching on it. So I will probably use my machine, but you could hand stitch. Like, I love that so much. You know what, too? The second wind comes because then I just feel inspired, right? Like, I find that is very inspiring. What else do we have that I cut in that size? I could use this one, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna, because I don't want to. But we got 4. We need one more because I would never do that. And then decide, like, are we going to do? Because really, I think it would be fun to do this now as a grid, right? So we need to cut one more. We'll cut one more. And we'll cut it through. I'm going to cut it diagonally. We'll see you later, Deb. Second wind at 11 o'clock. And that was our whole conversation, my husband and I, is like that. I need to be better about my bedtimes, right? Because remember I said I had to have a nap today. I just had like totally ran out of steam. And he's like, dude, you need to go to bed. And I'm like, bed schmed, right? Bed schmed. But it's true facts. Now I don't have a circle to back this on. But we can fake it, right? Well, no, we can't. I need to cut a circle. Bed schmed. But see what I'm saying? That one's going to be kind of diagonal. Oh, I love it. I actually love it. The contrast of the purple and the pink purple. There's no purple in that, Vicki. You're just making stuff up. So I need to cut 2 of those circles. But this I love. And on the white, I actually love it. But you could matte this. You could put it on a total contrasting, like a yellow matte. And that could be awesome sauce. Was this the circle? Nope. No, it was not, Vicki. That was the circle. Okay, let's cut 2 more. I love this one. Seriously, love that one. And this is not my normal color palette at all. Let's cut 2 circles quick so we can finish that. Cut them out. And get 1 out of this. How we doing? I would love to hear that somebody's making something. Are you still here, Irene? Because like I know, but for some of you, it's not late at all, right? I don't know if this is going to cut. I don't know if I took stuff off or not of my sandwich. Yep, it cut. And I just need 1 more. Out of some kind of scrap crap. Yes. Are you making something, Irene? Did you gel plate tonight? Are you making scrapbooking or are you making cards? What are you doing, my friend? Is anybody planning on doing anything for World Card Making Day tomorrow? Almost midnight here. Oh my goodness. It's 5 to 11 here. This is an all-nighter. Friday night all-nighter. 8 p.m. in Arizona. It is 5 to 11 p.m. in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, how many are you guys making? Did you guys make? Are you somebody making cards with me? I love it. I love these. And oops, I'm sitting on that. I sat on that. I'm like, that felt cold. Threw it on the floor, friends. Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. Get it done. Gotta get it done. I feel like, though, even though it's late, like we accomplished a lot, didn't we? What are you making 30 of? Dawn, I missed the early part of the convo. What are you making 30 of? Cards? Food? Blankets? What are you making? Where's Serenity? How's she doing? Was she here tonight and I missed it? Get her done, sister. That's what I'm talking about, right? So, can't line anything up now. Now my eyes are stop working. Oops. Very thin. Thin paper, tearing a little bit. I'll trim it if I have to. I'll trim it if I have to. But I don't want to peel it off again. See, I did not line it up very well. Oh, We'll fake it. We talk about it every Friday night. I really need to go get my eyes checked because I think that's just age, right? That I need glasses for sure. I miss the beginning. Need to know how to tape down your gel plate. So I put down a 8.5 by 11 piece of, this is all silicone mat on my background. So I just used Scotch tape, and I taped down the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and then I put my gel plate on top, and then it stays secure. The cleanup is easy. Is that what you were asking? Or am I just like answering some question that you're like, yeah, that's nice, but that's not what I asked you? There. Now we have 6 circles, and we're going to make it like a grid. So it's going to be uniform. I'm going to put the art down uniformly. Uniformly, and these really could be popped, but I want to sew on this. So I have some that are like, well, I'm just going to go with it, whatever, right? But I would like to sew on these circles. So this is how they're going to go on. And then I'm going to sew on this card. And I will share the finished after I sew on them, because I think I'll sew them right to here. So I like that. I'm going to go with it. Just tack them down. I don't want to use too much adhesive, because if I'm going to go through my sewing machine, it'll gum up my needle. But let's just add these. Do you always put a sentiment on your card? Or if it was an art card like this, would you leave it as a note card? Inquiring minds want to know. Vicki, are you doing something tomorrow for, this is it, Mitzi. This is it. I have instructions to write for the Peppermint Kisses weekend. I have, because I will be away for 6 weeks in New Zealand and Australia. And I have a lot of work to do prior to that. There's some new stuff with American Crafts that popped up that they are needing my input on. Plus, I have the instructions for the album. Instructions are done for Peppermint Kisses, but I still have to do the layout. I have to make the cards, and then I have to do the instructions for Australia, clean up the instructions for the cruise in Australia, and I have to write instructions for the one class in Auckland as well. So it's a lot. But look at that. Can you see? How pretty is that, friends? I love that, right? And I don't think I'll put a sentiment on this card, because I just kind of like the art. But you could, if you wanted to, like just little ones, right? But I don't think I would put one on here. You could put something through the center. That might be cool. Like look at a metallic, like hello. That might end up happening if I can find the right one. But I love this. So there we go. Now we have our 4x4. Where did that sucker go? Do you see it? Oh my goodness, Vicki. Is that him? There he is. Okay, so we have this little 4x4 that I think this one I'll do like this. Boop, boop. So we have all these options because I have this all left over that we could totally do a layout from the leftovers too, right? But we could do one where it is literally, circle's not big enough, but we could layer like this, right? And then just put your sentiment on it. So we could do something cool in the background. And then imagine, this is kind of big though. I want one smaller than this, and I don't think I have one left. Oh, I like that. Look. Where are the ones that I cut? Oh, here. I have these still too, right? Like imagine, that's not contrasty enough. Maybe another gold one instead. So I am going to take a stencil and stencil the center. And then I'm going to pop that up in the middle, and then I'm going to put a word across it. But I want just a little frame in the middle of that. So what do we have that would work? Anything that's handy? Handy. Where did you put all your stencils, Miss Vicki? Let's see what I'm talking about. Give me a second here, friends. Here they are. Oh, that could work. I like it. I like it. I like it. We'll just use the oxide because we had it out already. So I'm not doing the whole area. It's supposed to be like a loose frame. And then these are going to get popped up on here. Right? Love it. It's a note card, just a little note card. Now I know that I did get this will be very dimensional though. Hopefully it'll stick because the distress is probably still wet. I think it should be okay. So these have very artsy vibe, right? Have a very artsy vibe, which I really am digging. And I still haven't embellished or done anything with these. They're just kind of bones, the bones. You're seeing at least what I guess my goal was is that we do mixed media all the time. And a lot of you are like, okay, but now what do I do with it? So I hope that you're seeing kind of a little bit of an idea of how then to use the mixed media, right? Thank you so much for explaining how you position the gel plate. I also have a craft mat, and I've heard some makers recommend a glass mat, which you definitely could. But I have to say, the silicone mat sticks to my table, right? So if I use just a regular craft mat, I'd have to tape the craft mat down too. I find the silicone mat is magic. And I just don't like to put it directly on there so I don't get air bubbles and stuff on my gel plate. So I just attach the gel plate to cardstock and then attach it, if that is helpful at all. But yes, a glass mat would work, but the silicone mat is magic. I love this. It's almost got a Pokemon vibe. It's like a little artsy Pokemon, right? But now, do you see what I'm saying? If I had a bigger sentiment, I could put that across. I could put it underneath. I just like that. I would just use that as, here's a pretty little artsy card, because it looks like a little piece of art, right? But totally. And my favorite sentiments, I won't lie. And I feel like as a mixed media card maker, I feel like the stuff that's out there doesn't necessarily work for how I make cards. So there's things in the future I would love to do, a whole bunch of handwritten dies in sentiment words like that I make myself in Vicki Booten handwriting, so we can die cut them and layer them. The other thing is scale for me. I like big, right? I like everything a little bit bigger. So I just think it would be really pretty to put like a nice handwritten sentiment, like hello across there, or whatever, what other sentiments, joy. This could almost be like a non-traditional Christmas card, couldn't it? Like the word joy on here would be beautiful. Do I have one? Oh my goodness, do I have joy in my Christmas stuff that we could use? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think joy would be beautiful on that. A non-traditional, you could make this into ornament. Just put like the top on it and a bow, and that could be an ornament that says Noel, joy. I think could be very pretty, right? Love it. So we still have lots left, right? That's all the card bases that I have, but like this could definitely be used. Why would you throw that away? Why not put that on a layout, right? When you're going to make a layout, you could take a lot of your little pieces and sew them like you would, right? Your pattern paper, like any of these things on a base. Like, look how pretty. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't throw the scraps away. You could use them, and you could put a whole bunch of different sizes of scraps, and you could sew them on your backgrounds, right? So all this art can be used for something else. All of that art can be used for something else. I'm going to do more with this because I absolutely love that. That'll be a base for something else. But I really feel like a scrapbook page is going to end up happening. So this could be our beginning, couldn't it? Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Why couldn't we do something magical, right, with what we have left over? We could layer and make some more art. I love it. Totally could happen, right? Totally could happen using all of this stuff. Yes, there's things, like I said, as a card maker who is a mixed media artist who really likes to mix up scale and such. I would like handwritten dies that are bigger and that are loose and kind of messy. I think could be a whole bunch of awesome sauce. So we are going to do something with these leftovers. And I think it could be magical, right? A layout. I just have to fart around with this, but you see what I'm saying? That will take the extras and we can totally make a page. And you don't need a ton. Like, you put your title on here and a photo, and then embellish the crap out of this section. Could be really fun. Like, I love that a lot. I love that a lot. A lot, a lot. Right? So I will take my scraps and we'll do something with this. This could be next Friday. Oh, it may be next Thursday. We'll see. Next Friday is Peppermint Kisses weekend, right? So I can't kill myself. Like, because I'm going to be teaching for over 20 hours next weekend. Yeah, it'll be over 20 hours, I think. So 15 at least. So maybe there'll be a Thursday night live. Probably not. There probably won't be a Friday night live next week. Okay, friends? Because it's going to be crazy time for me next weekend. So I will finish these and post these though. That was a lot of fun. So we saw right from the beginning that we took just white sheets of cardstock and our time and some beautiful stencils and a little bit of non-traditional acrylic paint. And we made some beautiful bases that then we turned into cards. And so for all my card making loving friends, now we have something that if you didn't play along tonight, that you can definitely do. Something for World Card Making Day tomorrow. And Vicki, who you don't, right, always see making cards. I love this one. So thank you for Natalie, who's still here at 11:13. Oh my goodness, I love it. What does trabajo mean? So it says muy bonito, which is really very beautiful. But what does trabajo mean? Did I say it right? Trabajo? What does that mean? I want to know. Someone tell me what that is in English. I love it. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for everyone who has thumbs up the video. If you haven't subscribed already or aren't following and liking my Facebook page and my YouTube, please do that. Make sure you set your reminders for when I go live. Very, very excited that you guys join me tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. For all my Canadian friends out there, have a fabulous Thanksgiving weekend. The one thing I am super thankful for and grateful for is all of you that show up, support, chat with me, make the art, buy the products, do all the things. Very thankful for all of you. Not flipping the camera tonight because remember, I'm in my pajamas, didn't comb my hair today. So it is a little weird one tonight. But thank you. Thank you, Natalie, for sticking around. You guys are awesome. And I will see you not next week, but the week after. We have to get in a couple more Friday Night Lives before I take off on my world tour or partial world tour. So we'll see you guys later. I can't wait to see what you make. Please post it on the Vicki Boutin community group on Facebook, or if you post it anywhere else, make sure you tag me so I can see what you're making with and how you're, oh my goodness, and how you're inspired by these Friday Night Lives. I love to see. So take care, friends. We'll see you later.